Hey, everybody, this is actually election day. Before I go into my want, which is to pontificate, let me not do that and read my prepared text for this blockbuster. Which is to pontificate. Let me not do that and read my prepared text for this blockbuster news. So nice, I had to say it twice. I just had to, okay? But let me, or as they say in Blazing Saddles, excuse me while I whip this out. My text. Sheng Thao for mayor says, no coal in Oakland, but takes coal money, aka JMB capital. Well, the string of Oakland politicians claiming to be no coal in Oakland, progressives, but acting dishonestly, continues. For this vlogger, it's so much fun to see the white progressive media drown in its own puddle of lies and about where it gets its money from and its relationships with Oakland politicians. And if it's not that, then it's the 5 Oakland City Council members at a fundraiser for Oaklandside, the illegally acting nonprofit that delights in pointing out to what it idiotically calls big coal and Zennie62 Media's role as a vendor to it. Lead editor Yasmeen and editor Darwin Graham had what they thought was a field day, ignoring the sad story of how Oakland councilmember and mayoral candidate Sheng Thao violated the employment rights of LeAna Powell, and discovering for them, we discovered this via publicly available election spending documents that Californians For Safe Streets / Fuente for mayor of Oakland was Zennie62 Media Incorporated's client, something they could have learned if they regularly watched Zennie62 on YouTube and bookmarked OaklandNewsNowBlog.com. But no, they didn't do that. I've long wanted to catch Oaklandside in lying pose and already had the goods on him. And as I said before, I was just laying in wait like the Viet Cong to pop a cap in their collective ass. All right. I discovered that not less than 5 Oakland politicians, Dan Calb of District 1, Nikki Fortunato Bass of District 2, Carol Fife of District 3, and Lauren Taylor of District 6 and Treva Reed of District 7, also both mayoral candidates, were at the October 28th, 2021 Oaklandside fundraiser held by private fundraiser John Bliss. Were it not for the fact that John Bliss and I are Facebook friends, no one would have learned about how the 5 Oakland politicians were financially helping the nonprofit Oaklandside, because the media website likes to brag that it's not cozy with elected officials. Like hell, it's not. And then I learned that Oaklandside also gets funding from a progressive public relations firm called the Worker Agency, which itself has admitted giving money to Oaklandside in a 2020 tweet. I am told the Worker Agency generally gives money and press releases to media to serve the interests of its progressive and allegedly racist clients. Then Darwin Graham sent an email to LeAna Powell that was just plain insensitive, nasty, and harassing. No other way to put it. I wanted to call the Oakland police, and actually, frankly, I did inform the Oakland police. Graham and Raja sent the message that they think Oaklandside's untouchable, but this last week has shown it to be a nonprofit media organization that writes illegal articles designed to impact Oakland elections and target Black candidates. The target this time was Seneca Scott. And they do it with money from white progressives like billionaire Cat Taylor and organizations like Google. And all of that, while clearly violating nonprofit law, prohibiting nonprofit news organizations from trying to influence elections. Okay? But none of that stopped Sheng Thao, who failed to call and apologize to Ms. Powell, and then put out a tweet Monday, November 7th, that read, no coal in Oakland. And on top of that, Oaklandside was actually protecting Sheng Thao because they were trying to get out bad information about LeAna Powell and anybody like me or Seneca associated with her, okay? That's what they were trying to do, all right? All right. But she was saying, oh, no coal in Oakland. Yeah, right, Sheng. That tweet was met with evidence of her real nature. Documents showing that Sheng Thao for mayor of Oakland campaign collected $900 from none other than John Brooks, general partner of JMB Capital. JMB Capital is the firm that's the Oakland Bulk and Oversized Terminals new investor and partner to California Capital Investment Group, which is ran by Phil Tagami. They and others comprise the same Californians For Safe Streets, De La Fuente for Mayor Political Action Committee, that is Zennie62 Media's client for the purpose of digital advertising and content marketing and placement. As written before, a client, my firm, is proud to be associated with. You hear that? But this is the latest example of how Oakland progressives like to tell lies to make themselves look bigger than they are. The reality is they need money to post their media and run for office and take that money from a number of different people and industries, including those related to oil, gas, and transportation. Maybe Oakland politicians can stop saying no to industrial development and jobs for Black and brown people and start saying yes to subsidies to help them do their work better and cleaner and create more jobs too. Stay tuned. All right. Yeah, that's the latest find there. I mean, can you believe it? I mean, I can. But what happened is I kicked up such a frenzy that now people are looking for these contradictions. They are looking for these so-called no coal in Oakland and all these folks to really show that what their clothes really look like if they're winning. In other words, if they're really wearing any at all. You know what I mean? And in case of Sheng Thao, no. And I'll bet you'll find that from others too. Let's get to the real bottom line. This isn't about coal or no coal investments. These are about media organizations and nonprofits that need money to do what they do. That's what I was trying to tell Igor Trelub last night. Igor Trelub is Berkeleyite who's on the Sierra Club, involved with the East Bay Sierra Club. Good guy. I like Igor. I just don't agree with him on this issue. Simple fact of the matter is I've told Igor many times that Black and brown people need jobs. And if you want to really help them, rather than claiming you are making sure that dirty coal doesn't come in, why don't you look at the latest technologies to make absolutely certain that when coal container cars come through, they do so leaving little or no emissions. It is possible, folks, because a lot of you out there think, hey, you know what? We've got a situation where this is a coal terminal. It's not. Coal terminals store coal overnight for quite some time, and they're huge. They cover many acres in size. That's not the case for the Oakland Bulk and Oversized Terminal. The Oakland Bulk and Oversized Terminal is a just-in-time process. The covered rail car, because Phil insisted on them being covered because the coal doesn't emit gas by anywhere near as much as if it were open. In fact, he actually fired Kinder Morgan because they didn't want to do that, but I digress. And then he hooked on it with Inside Terminal Solutions, and now he's got JMB Capital, and they're working on it, okay? My point is that, well, actually, what's tied up in courts right now, but they're going to win. My point is that the container cars come through. They're not just coal. Iron ore, sulfur, the late, great Inside Terminal Solutions CEO John Siegel was talking about shipping wood chips over from Singapore. All right. Well, any commodity that's in demand, but right now coal is at the highest level of demand it's ever been. And Utah firms are trying to figure out how to get their coal out fastest to Asia and China. And really the fastest way is through Oakland. Folks, this money is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. You say, why is it there? Because of the twin dynamic, world-changing actions of the pandemic itself, and then, of course, Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. The world is significantly different than it was, and now we're caught. Look, here's the reality. We're 20 years behind regarding climate change action that would slow it down. And while it's laudable to do so, and I highly 100% agree with it, I don't agree with throwing people out of their jobs to achieve that, which you think is the clean objective. It's not. Use technology, bring out technology, create new technology. A lot of the people that are involved in this they're Luddites. They have no interest in technology. They like to think that they are because, this really can be a technical subject. But even then, their knowledge is found to be extremely wanting. This is about jobs and economics. And it can be done. And indeed, it has to be done now because there's just so much money sloshing around regarding coal. And not only that, folks, iron ore is 7 times dirtier. But to show you how stupid this whole thing is, Oakland never focused on that. Why? Because Tom Steyer didn't come through and target the money that he was spending the seed, and give all these nonprofits like the Sierra Club and other organizations, which I believe have wound up in Oaklandside's pockets. He didn't say to them, no iron ore, okay? It was just coal. Had it not been for his money, this whole network of East Bay organizations that yells no coal and all this stuff would have not been yelling anything. Or if they spent it on iron ore, they would have said no iron ore, something like that. My point is they don't really study anything. It's very sad. All right, that's my point. There's the news. Subscribe to Zennie62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnowblog.com, and that ends this broadcast.